So welcome to the Miracles and Science Center for Continuous Personal and Professional Development. Today, the 27th of December, I come with another daily life lesson. This daily lesson tells us about virtue. Virtue is described as high moral standards. So if you are a virtuous person, it means you have a high moral standard. But it says again, this daily lesson, that you cannot be virtuous, you cannot be able to exhibit high moral standards when you are not actually reasonable. So virtue and reason go hand in hand. Sometimes I find people actually using reason unreasonably. And also sometimes I find people also trying to demonstrate that they are virtuous, and yet actually they are not being reasonable. Sometimes you find someone will try to say he's following the rules, applying the rules of the organization, applying the rules, the norms, the values of a particular society. But in their application, the person tends to think that is actually preserving the moral standards. Rules are not equal to the moral standards, because a reasonable person has always to see what is actually reasonable in the particular context for the greatest good. Usually that is the most important. And also a reasonable person who equally should be a virtuous person should be able to see that what is promoting is actually looking at the consequence of a certain decision, not just what that decision is. So by looking at that, a reasonable person looks at a particular decision, but not only stops there, but also looks at the consequences. And once that is done, then you can be able to find that you can be able to uphold the moral standards. And when you do that, it means that you are using reasoning. Therefore, it is important to understand that there can never be a morally upright and a standard person who is actually not reasonable. This has been a daily lesson for today.